regular season, get in the bin. It's done. No more regular season. A lot of teams, they've played their last games. They're not going to be playing in February. Well, February, March time. You can't really say
March.
January football, but there is playoffs, obviously. We've got some of them. Obviously, we probably won't hear about Div 2 until Wednesday, but we'll have a guess. And by we, I mean Cam, and he'll ruin it, get it wrong, of course. But
It's terrible last week.
It's not my fault. It's not my
your
fault.
fault.
It is. You're the one that chose them.
Well, no, the maths chose them. I just said them.
Well,
Your maths is...
your maths is wrong. But obviously, playoffs, we know who have won their division. We know who's getting promoted from D2. We know who's going to be in D1. We know what the Prem looks like. We've got some games this weekend in the D1 and the Prem. But obviously, some big games this week. We'll go through some of those. Most notably, there was a huge game that happened yesterday. Implications felt all around the league. People wanted to see it. People were tuned in. They were ready. It was an event that, really captivated the university American football world. And I think even beyond that huge result, we've been, looking forward to it all season. Even since week 2, we were, eyes were focused in on this one matchup. And, who would have known? The Chichester Spitfires. They won again.
That's a good one, that. Yeah.
I'm so proud of them.
1,904 days,
It's 5 years.
5 years. I think Dylan was like, it was the last year the Patriots won a Super Bowl.
COVID didn't
Boris
exist.
Johnson elected into being a PM. Basically, everyone was happy. Everyone was healthy. Everyone was, living a great life. But yeah, Chichester Spitfires back on top. But I mean, massive result for Chichester Spitfires. Jamie,
Yeah, give him a playoff. Give him a playoff spot.
Yeah,
Just like
honestly, scrap the D2 playoffs. Give the Conference Cup over
give it
to
Chichester.
the Spitfires. So, but I mean,
That's a convincing win as well.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, who knows how Solent's feeling? But I mean, realistically, the world is rejoicing. The world is healing finally. The Spitfires, 30-6 over Solent. Big old game. And immediately in the comments, QMBL challenging the UE Bullets to a game.
Talk about UE Bullets twos. Yeah, that's probably more on par.
Yeah, I mean, we will talk about them. You're in the playoffs and you beat Worcester, so that's basically it. So the results for wow, I'm just reading some of these comments already. So we'll go top to bottom. Obviously, some walkovers. Bath Killer Bees get one over Southampton. Lincoln ARU. Canterbury get one from Imperial. QMBL beat Greenwich 20-13. QMBL are in the playoffs. Kingston, it was getting a bit shaky for them. But they win their division with a win over the City Wolfpack 14-6. Aberystwyth fall to the Plymouth Blitz. Blitz are going up to the Southwest One. May God have mercy on their soul. The UE Bullets 2s beat Worcester 38-0. UE Bullets 2s are in the playoffs again. And I think they'll do quite well, if I'm completely honest. Now, moving on to teams that I think are going to do really well in the playoffs. I think Sussex are about to ruin some people's lives come the playoffs. They beat Surrey 42-16. Obviously, Chichester beat Solent 30-6. Lancaster beat Keele 20-0. Sheffield Sabres punched their ticket to D1 43-6. DMU give a walkover to Derby. I think the game got called at half time for them. Durham have a close one with Loughborough 27-22, and the UE Bullets beat Nottingham Gold in the rematch 28-20. So we're gonna Salford Enthusiasts got some haircut. Honestly, this is a stream of bad lids. I think stream of bad lids. Who will Kingston play in the playoffs? We'll get into that. You have to tune into what we think the Div 2 playoffs will. That's
Why does it matter? They're going to lose.
We'll straight off the back. And yeah, Kingston, we might as well start with it. if anyone from Kingston wants to give us grief about why the majority of us picked City, we had information. We had it, and SJ, do you feel bad about it? Because I don't.
Yeah, well, I don't know what you're talking about because I picked Kingston.
Yeah. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
feel bad about it.
Yeah, mate.
Don't feel bad
Don't
about
drag
it.
me down with you.
No, I will, because none of us picked Chichester, so we obviously know nothing. I mean,
Yeah, fair.
we talk about the results for the teams that are going up. Obviously, Kingston beating City again, looking a bit shaky for them, but they're getting promoted into the Southeast One, which I think it's a good fit if they can get back on track. Obviously, we've got the playoffs in front of us. I had Kingston to win the whole thing at one point, but I don't know. I think OBU's looking a bit stronger, but I still think potentially Sussex is going to ruin some lives. Anyone got any thoughts on Kingston going up?
Good for them.
I think they might go straight back down.
You think Kingston will go straight back down?
Possibly.
Well, it's all possibly, Cam.
But yeah, if you ask my opinion,
mate, if you just go, oh well, maybe they'll go up. Well, we can say it for everyone, and then the show's ruined.
No, I do think, out of all the teams getting promoted, they might struggle the most. They don't exactly go into a weak division. And
actually, you know what? Come to think of it, that's not the worst thing in the world, because like even UCL is the.
That's what I mean. The tail end of their season hasn't really shown anything good. They struggled. Struggled in their last game.
I mean,
of the season.
like UCL being the fourth place team, and then you obviously got UEA, Kent, and KCL. Considering that's if no one goes up from the Southeast One, of course. But yeah, that's a difficult division to go into. Yeah, fair enough. From the Southern, do you think OBU have a better chance of staying up?
They do, but at the same time, it's a harder division.
That division is the strongest.
It is a much harder.
Obviously.
Oh, absolutely. I still think they've got a better chance though, because they've looked stronger.
But there's a possibility they get to play an Explosion next year now.
There is a possibility that Birmingham end up in the South, and it could be OBU Explosion. I think if Birmingham end up in the South and like Brunel or Hearts go up, it becomes a bit of an easier division than it has been this year.
What are you smoking saying Hearts will go up?
I didn't say they will.
It could be worse, but he could say Lancers going up. But I mean, we'll talk about that now. Obviously, like this time last week, we were like, okay, Lancers versus Bournemouth. That'll be it. Brighton, at least on Bucks play, had the walkover was given to the Lancers. Lancers were making the playoffs. That was then reversed later on in the week, and Bath will now be facing Bournemouth, and Oxford are out of the playoffs, which I think obviously it is mad, but they do start late in the season, so it does end up with when you have to reschedule games, it does get slightly tricky, which is a shame. A lot of OBU hate in the Insta comments. Fuming. They're fuming. Who do all the OBU haters play for? That's what I want to know.
All these ones in the comments.
Sorry.
I'm trying to see. But I mean OBU, they're looking pretty good.
Bristol and Queen Mary. They don't like each other. Get that game played.
Yeah, get this game played. I'll fucking pay for that. QMBL versus Bristol. Bang.
We have one. Hearts might beat Kent, but then they won't go any further. Like that's.
Yeah.
Are we doing predictions?
That's not a bad take.
We will be doing them later.
Yeah.
Do you not watch the show? You're on the show.
No.
You know how it works. But yeah, so if we look at some of the other ones, what's the other one? So Sheffield beat York fairly handily.
Yeah, good win.
I mean, good win for Sheffield. I mean, I feel like there's a part of me that's sort of discounting the Sabres come the playoffs because Derby made it there last year. But I mean, to be fair, if it's a Sheffield Derby final, I'm not going to complain about that. That's a cracking game.
I think it will be. I could imagine.
To be fair, I was going to say, do you think Sheffield? How do you think they're going to do next year? But obviously, depends where they go. I feel.
I think if if both them and Derby end up in the Midlands, which is possible, it'll be a very
That'll
good
be-
division compared to this year.
That'll be a tough.
Derby came from the north
I-
before,
I-
no? Guys, and they weren't Midlands when they were last in Div 1, were they?
Yeah, but then there was.
No, they were in
Who's
Midlands. when
this?
they were
This
last in-
Derby?
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Derby.
Derby. Yeah, Derby.
Derby were in
Derby
Midlands.
won Div 1
Yeah.
Midlands.
He's right.
Yeah.
Um,
I imagine that'd be a very tough division if they both go into the Midlands, though. Especially, you could take a look at the teams that are there, and maybe it's Leicester that are the odd man
yeah,
out.
you
then.
say that, but Leicester, they're playing Northumbria this weekend. So can you really say that anymore?
True.
I
know, but
well, you got to think about it like this.
yeah,
that's exactly it. Like 3 teams from the Midlands are in the playoffs. The other 2 relegated.
Exactly.
So it's.
So if that trend continues, you could see Derby or Sheffield straight back down.
It'd be mad. You've got to expect that. You've got to expect that it's probably going to be one of them. But is Solent now the holder of the worst team in Uniball till they win next?
Is that how it works?
That's a great question.
We'd have to. Have to look. We'd have to look. I forget who else there is because I think to be fair, York St John won one last year, so it's not York St John.
I think it might be for Solent.
So we've got to work out who's on the longest.
It is Solent. Solent won games last year. I imagine there's another team that went completely winless.
I'm just loving the QMBL versus Bristol fighting in the
Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it?
It's quite good.
Wait, is it UE2s or is it Cuda?
I don't know if it's UE2s or Cuda.
Isn't that the truth? We're enjoying this. You are the comments around the show. We're not.
This is brilliant. No, I don't know. It might be Solent. I don't think it's. No, Kiel won a game this year.
Yeah, Kiel won a
Kiel
game.
Anymore.
Gosh, we really have to think about who it is. Who are the winless? Oh no, it's easy. It's easy.
Is it Aberdeen?
No, it's Bath Spa.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, fair
It's
enough.
Bath Spa.
When did they last? Well,
Well, we should have all thought.
Good question.
Although it's a good
I
point
think
that losing to Chichester does invalidate it.
Yeah, I mean 30-6. But to be fair,
We'd have to find this out.
right now, hypothetically, obviously we know nothing. Who wins, Bath Spa or Solent?
Bath Spa, because they actually had a fairly competitive game the other week.
I'm going to go Bath Spa just because they put 22 on Plymouth.
No.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And they had a competitive game against Gloucester.
Here's my logic. My logic is that the Southwest 1 is atrocious, which means Southwest 2 must be even worse.
So we're going to move straight on to that. The Plymouth Blitz beat the Aberystwyth Taranai. Plymouth are going up. I mean, out of the frying pan and into the fire. It seems like it. I mean, Plymouth going up. It's going to be interesting to see how they do because, I mean, Swansea didn't necessarily shake up that division much this year. Sorry, they didn't shake it up at all. They held it.
Do Swansea's offense score a point in Div 2 next season?
That's disrespectful.
Yeah, of course they do, mate. It'd be interesting if they go straight back up. I can't see it.
No, I think UW2s might finally get it next year.
It wouldn't surprise me. Because they're obviously in the playoffs now, and I think they're gonna. I think them and Bullets 2s and Sussex, I think, are going to cause people some problems going into the playoffs. Definitely. I don't think the South is that cadre. I think the North, Sheffield and Derby, I feel pretty safe with those 2, but the South, I don't really have a clue.
Yeah. So
obviously, the other fixtures around, obviously, Bullets 2s beat Worcester, shut them out 38-0, which is good. QMBL in the playoffs, beating Greenwich, especially Greenwich were on the rise, beating them 20-13. To be fair, even QMBL in the playoffs is not an opponent that you think, oh, this is clap your hands, it's going to be a piece of piss. So but then I guess if you're in the playoffs, no team should really be a piece of piss.
No.
But then you've got D1, so don't get me wrong. I think the Bournemouth versus Bath game will be competitive, but I just can't see I can't see Bath surprising anyone with it. If I'm honest. So I suppose we should move on to the national premiership. It was looking a bit shaky for Durham for a little bit. You know, they were down at one point against Loughborough, so it was good to Surrey in the playoffs. Yes, we think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Surrey have made playoffs.
Oh, not this again, where Surrey think they're out of the playoffs and then they end up being in.
KCL are going to cook Barracuda. Yeah, probably right. OBU in the playoffs.
That's a tough one. Sport Tank presents Spitfires versus Bulldogs. Yeah, you know what? Might as well. Real national finals, that.
So moving on, so national prem, obviously, it doesn't matter. Like the scoreline is the scoreline. Durham, they do manage to hold off Loughborough. So I think I can guess the national prem playoffs. What's it? It'll be UE versus Loughborough and Durham or Notts versus Durham. But so UE versus Nottingham. I mean, good football is back in like the highest level. I think between those two squads, it was. I mean, great. I mean, fantastic game. Let's be honest. A bit of a nail biter. Not scoring first as well. Wasn't expecting that one, but the running back Brees for UE, 29 carries for 218 yards. Massive. Just massive. It's again, it was just a good game of football. Obviously, it's everyone assumes, but obviously you can't really assume because Durham did beat Notts at Notts that the final is going to be a third meeting between the Gold and the Bullets twos. Bro, to be fair, bro, you do look like that kid. You do.
I used to get the kid from what's it, fucking Polar Express. I used to get that one.
A bit Polar Expressy.
Put the specs on.
I used to wear glasses. So that might actually
Jesus Christ. Great game. One side. Oh yeah, I'll plug this. I'll plug what Mike's saying. Sealand Seahawks Nationals play Sealand Seahawks Masters on the Saturday at Leicester City training ground. Love a bit of Sealand Seahawks. To be fair, I don't know who's in the Masters, but I'll go with them because I know they're all old boys. Not that I've heard from that rumor that's on Instagram. Not that I've heard.
That person's just trying to spread any Notts rumor they can
so,
think
given
of.
what they've previously.
It's legal. It's legal, but I can't comment on whether
I love that.
Like it's legal to do. Like the rules state that.
I love this. I love this comment from Aidan. This isn't a laughing matter. Spitfires won a game. I've been in a three-piece suit since full time.
Did the guy in the middle deliberately get that trim?
But I mean, realistically, that final, if it is going to be Gold versus Bullets again, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like we hyped up the first meeting, we hyped up the second meeting.
Hype up the third.
That third one is going to be like probably one of the most anticipated games played on this, on British soil in a long time. What game is Sports Tank streaming for the playoffs? The only one we know this week is SGS versus NTU. No, Portsmouth versus NTU. Sorry. I'm still waiting on confirmation from Warwick.
Do you know what the thing is? If Queen Mary's were just as good at playing football as roasting,
honestly, mate, they're a proper LJMU Fury glass cannon at the minute. To be fair to the Vipers, to be fair to them, I've never seen a team celebrate being just in the D2 playoffs as much as they have. Like like that in itself is an accomplishment.
Just
Like they were
it's
celebrating
like
being in the playoffs in like November, which is mad. You know, like
yeah.
you know, bloody hell, roasted and coming in, boys. So
Oh,
we're
man.
gonna move on to.
That was
We're gonna look back. We're gonna go back in time, and we're gonna look at who we predicted to win their divisions, and we're just gonna say this is how stupid we are. We don't know anything. We don't know anything. So let me have a sip.
That was quite a good one. That Luke Little one was quite good.
the thing is, though, man. I've heard that. I'm literally in a group chat that's called that because it's
So Cam at the start of the season, he had the UE Bullets to win the National Prem, Leeds to win the Prem North, Cardiff to win the Prem South, the Mavericks to win the Scottish, UClan to win the Northern one. He did get Nottingham Green right. He got Brunel right. He had UEA to win the South East, Southampton to win the Southwest, which is probably one of the roguest ones. Lancaster to win the Northwestern, Sheffield to win the Northeastern, Surrey, UE, Twos, and Imperial. Ladies and gentlemen, we've all got Imperial, so we are dead wrong on that.
Did they even win a game?
No.
Nope. We had them to win the fucking
Do you know what?
division.
Lovely. Love it.
So,
We cursed them.
yeah, UE. So I
Warms
had
my heart.
UE, Leeds, Exeter, Napier. I got Napier right. I was big on Manchester at the start of the season. Wrong effort from me. Hallam, Brunel, UEA, Bournemouth, Lancaster, Sheffield, Derby, Surrey, UWE and Imperial. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right. Big up me.
How many did I get?
You got
Well
1, 2, 3. You got 3.
How many did I get?
So SJ had
fuck.
UE, Leeds, Exeter, Stirling, Northumbria, Hallam, Kent, Bournemouth, Lancaster, Sheffield, Derby, UE2, Surrey, Imperial. So 1, 2, 3.
No, you're giving me Bruno
4.
as well, so 4.
Yeah, you could have given me Derby for the Midlands as well.
Yeah, but I didn't because you don't play
Why?
for Derby, so you would have to have Lincoln. That's
Yeah, but I would have predicted them.
You're a terrible.
So I will say that he's not here, but Jamie had some great ones. He had Durham to win the National, NTU to win the Northern, SGS. Only one that picked SGS, pretty mental. Glasgow, Northumbria. He had Hull, Toilet, Brunel, KCL. He had KCL, which is good. He had Swansea to win the Southwestern one. So I'm not going to read out any more of his because that completely invalidates it.
He loses
Completely
points for that.
invalidates
Yeah.
what he's talking about. So, I mean, good season in terms of being able to upset all the apple cart. So, you know, what do we know at the start of the season? That's why you do pre-season predictions, so you can look back and go, I'm wrong.
But they were very, very early.
Very early.
We don't know much.
Like, I'm sure Bradford was still in consideration at some point.
I think I did
Bangor's
consider
still
them at one point.
Bradford, yeah.
For some reason.
I mean, also, we do. What was the game? What's the game? Who is it? It's Salford versus who? Banger.
Oh, Banger. Salford Banger.
We're going to predict that one as well. Salford Banger. Hilarious.
We're predicting friendlies now. We're in the trenches,
It's
man.
only for this one. It's only for this one. Don't get your hopes up.
They've made the comment already, Archie. You're late on it.
So
Did you change my name?
What, to Mr. Least? Yeah, I know. I pointed that out earlier.
An hour.
Yeah, it's been great.
Oh gosh. Cam. Obviously, we're going to find out on Wednesday the Div 2 the Div 2 playoffs.
Yes.
But we're going to have a nice, wholesome guess.
Guess.
This is not confirmed, but you know.
So, Div 2 South, I think it's going to be Oxford Brooks versus Aberystwyth. I think it's going to be Plymouth versus Surrey. I'm thinking Kingston versus QMBL.
Great game.
She's making this shit up.
Sussex versus the UWE2s.
Good game.
Good
Yeah,
old pellets.
So some good matchups there, and then some interdivision ones, which kind of suck. And then for the North, I'm predicting Sheffield to play Sunderland, Derby to play Cambridge, Edgehill to play York, and Lancaster to play Lincoln.
I mean, the South is looking a lot better there. Though interdivision matchups make me feel ill. So, but those are all guesses. So,
Guesses.
But the worst thing about all this is people will listen to what Cam's just said and go, "We need to tell coach that's who we're playing."
They actually will as well. We need to get film right now on like Aberystwyth.
yeah, I mean, we're just guessing because we'll find out in 2 days, but we're not going to do a show on Wednesday. So,
Yeah.
normally they'd all come out on the same day, and then we'd do a show. But I mean, we already know the National Prem. I love Div 2, but I'm not, going to do one for Div 2. I'm simply not going to do that. So, I mean, the playoffs, we can move on. The regular season is in the bin. So, in the playoffs,
Yippee.
in D1, it's going to be the Mavericks making the massive trek to play the Edinburgh Napier Knights. The Northumbria Mustangs taking on the Leicester Longhorns. The Notts Green versus Hallam. To be fair, a pretty interesting match considering that Sheffield Hallam beat them last weekend. So not Sunday, but the weekend just gone. And then UClan versus Stirling, which I think will be an interesting one. Bournemouth versus Bath. Brunel versus the UEA Pirates. KCL versus Bristol. Kent versus Hertfordshire. And then in the Premiership, SGS versus Newcastle. Warwick versus Cardiff. Portsmouth versus NTU. And the Leeds Griffins versus the Exeter Demons. I mean,
some good games.
Yes, there are some good games there. I mean, if we go from the top, I don't think the Mavericks will be able to overcome the Napier Knights.
It's such a travel as well, and that kills you. It's what? It's got to be 5 hours in a coach-ish.
It's not even a 5-hour walk. If you're the Mavericks, you've sort of lucked out there because travel to the Scottish divs are always a bit tumultuous. But they're, I'm not sure if they all play at Pfeffer Mill. I'm not sure if the Napier Knights do, but I know that the Mavericks and the Wolverines, they play in the same venue. So, but again, I can't quite see it. I mean, the Mavericks were. I don't think Cam had the Mavericks in his projections. If I'm going to look at Cam here.
Yeah, I did because they came second.
No.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
They didn't
come second.
They're the 8th seed, you weapon.
Oh, did UEA come second then?
What?
Mate,
what planet are you on?
So the Mavericks are the 8th seed.
Oh my.
And UEA are the 7th seed.
Wait. They're in a completely different. Oh my.
Oh, I've got my divisions confused. Allow me, please. I don't know if I saw Kent in there. I might not have.
He's talking about flipping East Kent Mavericks playing.
Yeah.
I was thinking of East Kent Mavericks. Yeah.
Right. So what we're going to do for the rest of the show, we're not going to throw to Cam.
No, it's okay. I'm on it now.
No. No, we're not going to throw to him anymore. I mean, there's not much to really say about that. You predicted an upset in that one? Anyone?
Not really.
No, I wouldn't say so. The Mustangs take on the Longhorns. I mean, I'd say it would be slightly tricky if O'Coin's suspension.
Is that Doncaster?
Grow up, mate. Sorry, mate. This show's happening in February, not in April. Get a grip. If they were out without O'Coin because he was suspended, that suspension got lifted, you could potentially say Leicester would have a chance. Obviously, Northumbria is not a one-man team, but he certainly does help. But don't get me wrong, I don't think Northumbria winning the D1 North anymore, but I think they'll get past the Longhorns. No one got anything else to say about that?
No.
I don't really know what there is to say about the North.
I mean, I feel like the most interesting one is the third meeting between the Green and Sheffield Hallam.
They're pretty banged up, the Green, from what I've been told. Like massively banged up.
It's one of the things where, like, if Hallam can continue that momentum, obviously beating the Green 2 weeks ago, we could be prized for, the first of the divisional winners to make an exit.
Depends as well if Green pull anyone down from gold. And
No,
They can't at this point.
they've probably played the threshold.
no, it resets for playoffs.
Normality.
Yeah, it
Don't
does.
just-
Because we had
Why would it
to
reset
look
the
into it
playoffs?
last year because we might have faced Nottingham in playoffs, and we had to do all the blooming research.
There's no way.
I
It
don't-
does. The eligibility is separate for playoffs. It's really stupid.
Get that. Show me that reg afterwards, because there's
So
no way that's
we're going
real.
to put a pin in that one, because even I don't think that sounds particularly legitimate. But
Yeah.
So you're telling me is the goal could just put everyone on the Green just for giggles?
I mean, it's going to be that's probably the most interesting one coming out of the north. I mean, UClan versus Stirling. I think it'll be a good game, but I have shifted my sort of D1 North views. I think UClan are going to take it personally. So
Ooh, really?
no, I said it as a joke.
Okay, sorry. I was right.
Christ alive. Why? Who do you think is winning the north then?
Edinburgh,
Yeah,
10 a.m. kickoff.
probably
the whole way.
Edinburgh Napier.
Do it.
No. SJ said Mavericks, mate. Who are we talking about?
Oh, I was talking about Napier.
Oh. God.
Oh, we were talking about Edinburgh Mavericks.
No,
that makes sense.
It'll be either just shut up now.
It
Shut
clicked
up.
for me. I'm sorry.
Just
It
stop
finally
talking.
clicked for me.
I'll find where you live. I will slap you. It'll be either UClan or
Do you really think so?
Northumbria. I think it's been out since day
I
one.
mean, don't get me wrong. When it finally comes time for the Napier Knights to, who are they going to match up? They'll match up with UClan.
First,
Like
yeah,
that
UClan
game will
first.
be, like that. That's a tough one to call between those two squads. I know we're sort of discounting Stirling there. I feel pretty safe that we can, put the Mavericks. You've made the playoffs. Good, but I don't think you'll be doing much there. But Stirling, on the other hand, could poise some issues for UClan, but I don't think enough to devoid them of a victory. But yeah, UClan versus Napier. If it wasn't in Edinburgh, I'd go and stream it, but it is, so no. Moving on to the south, obviously, like Bournemouth versus Bath. I mean, if that was Bournemouth Oxford, I'd walk there, I'd crawl there.
That'd be a game. That'd be a really, really good game.
Here's the thing, though. I think the scoreline will be a bit closer than potentially we expect it to be, but I don't think it's going to be. To be fair, Adam George, we were talking about earlier, worst team, Canterbury. Forgot about Canterbury.
Yeah, it's a good one. That.
Yeah, we did forget about Canterbury. I think Bath Spa probably beat Canterbury.
Yeah, would Solent beat them?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I mean, Bournemouth versus Oxford would have been great, but we can stop talking about it because it's not happening. I think I think the score will be a bit closer, but I mean, who knows? We could see, Bournemouth may have just been sort of. I mean, realistically, Bournemouth could have been just prepping for the playoffs in like December, November time. We could be seeing playoff Bobcats now, but they might even hold back on this because they'll be facing Bath and they've really beaten them twice. So that's a complete guess on my part for how Bournemouth are going to prepare, but they've got to be feeling pretty decent about playing another team from the southwest.
Yeah.
What do you think they'll just not really do anything, or
no? I just mean if you look at the regular season, Bath has given Bournemouth the biggest challenge, so I think the game will be difficult. I don't think it's one of those situations where it's difficult to beat a team 3 times. No, I think Bournemouth have the firepower to do that, but I just think it will be closer than expected. But Bournemouth, are Bournemouth going to come out as, playoff Bournemouth? This is the time of year they've been waiting for to really sort of stake their claim as one of the best teams in the country. Because if you look at the Southwest one, like Bournemouth were basically just slapping people around for 14 weeks, right? But now they're in the playoffs. It's like, we've got to actually, really lock in here because we're going to play some real contenders. But then starting with the team they've already beaten twice, are they going to take it as seriously as if they were potentially playing Oxford? That's all I'm saying. That's all. A complete guess on my part. This is where Coach Rains will be in the comments and he'll tell me to shut up. Tebs, you're talking absolute nonsense. If UClan win, it will be UClan Northumbria 3 at UClan. Maybe.
You go all the way. You go all the way up to Preston again.
It'd be a good
Again, unfortunately.
I'll certainly think about it.
You'd be the first person to ever go to Preston twice,
on purpose
Yeah.
twice.
I will genuinely think about it. I'll put it like that. I'll genuinely think about it. I mean, it depends on the date, I'd assume, and what other games going on. Because if there's a game of sort of equal,
well, it would be the final, wouldn't it? So you'd have the South final on the same day.
then probably not. Probably not. But I'm not saying no completely. I mean, it depends on the South final because I think the South final will definitely get coverage.
Bristol, mate. From the comments, it's going to be Cuda.
To be fair, it could be
Cuda all the way.
Bournemouth. It could be Bournemouth Bruno.
So actually, I've got a question for Mike, who's commenting. Bobcats won all their games the first half. Lots of rotations of personnel in the second half. Do you think my comments about them, potentially not exhibiting playoff Bournemouth, like high caliber all starters in Bournemouth because they've got Bath in the first round? Do you think that's a valid point?
Doesn't that comment invalidate their division even further though? Because they only have to play half a game then to win.
Mate,
I was just about to say, does it? Do they blow teams out in the first half and then in the second half don't even?
Yeah, which just shows that their division's even weaker than we first thought.
I mean, to be fair, lads, we didn't need any help in knowing that the Southwest one wasn't the best division. We didn't need help in understanding that. So, again, I'll see what Mike says because I don't know if I'm being unfair to.
Some unreal comments, man. Some unreal comments.
Brilliant comment.
This is the best thing because most of these people's seasons are done.
I mean, like Casper said here, Bath almost beat Bournemouth last time. That's what I sort of mean. Like Bath were running the closest with Bournemouth. But again, I don't think that I don't think it'll be just a complete Bournemouth will wipe the floor with them. Do you know what I mean? I don't think that'll be the case. Oh, let me just get on a little bit of a rant here for a second.
No.
There are not only two states of winners and losers in sport, or this sport specifically. It's not just a team got smashed and another team smashed them. You can just win and lose a close game. No one is.
I remember this rant.
It's not just the smasher and the smashee. There are other types of winners and losers. Yeah. Oh gosh. Seriously, what's what we're talking about? They will be strong against the beast.
Squash for Frisbee.
The previous games,
Ultimate Frisbee.
went easily to the Bobcats.
Squash, mate.
Mr. Beast started.
Could be squash.
Gave Bath chances of the game. Yeah, I'd say that's fair. I'd say that's fair, Mike. Obviously, I can't imagine Bournemouth have probably reined in those offensive mistakes for the game that me and Steve were at. What?
Someone did get smashed.
Did get smashed? Sing about it.
Yes.
What do you define as a smash? 3 scores.
Oh, so Solid got smashed, yeah.
3 scores. 3 scores is smashed. I think that's fair. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, but I've been trying to get facial hair for 29 years. Thoughts on LJ Ultimate Frisbee? So this so,
I think they're going to win it all.
Rundown's not in a uni ball anymore. It's Ultimate Frisbee. I wish.
Yeah.
There actually is. There is the best Ultimate Frisbee team.
I think we found this out. What are UCL good at? They're good at table tennis, aren't they?
We're good at table tennis.
I know why they're good at table tennis.
Why are they good at
Here we
table
go.
tennis, mate? Go on.
Based in
And
London,
the show is cancelled. So Brum got smashed. Depends who by. Spitfire. That's a great one. Spitfire's won again.
Spitfire's win for GTA 6.
Was it Spitfire's won again before Sport Tank had a decent trim?
There isn't even a Premier tier for Ultimate.
Is there not? Wow,
Terrible.
Toilet. So moving on.
Yeah.
So Brunel versus UEA. Again, I think it's one of the more interesting games happening at the weekend. I think.
Oh, it says Strathclyde has the best team
Oh my god.
for Ultimate Frisbee.
Sure.
Oh, thank God he's back.
Strathclyde got him.
The Strathclyde Ultra's got him. Bournemouth versus UEA. Sorry, Brunel versus UEA. Again, I think it's one of the better games happening. I mean, I can't see UEA taking it, but I think it'll be tough for Brunel. But I think Brunel's season playing.
You called me. What did you call me this morning? You called me.
What me?
Called me Gaza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your squad loves to bottle it though. You like this would be the ultimate Brunel is if you lose in the first round to UEA. This would be ultimate. You've got the chance to fully realise, like you've got a fork in the road here. Either it's complete salvation, and you get promoted, or you lose in the first round. That's it. That's it. I think those.
Brunel by 1 score.
Gary's not even back in the boys.
Brunel by 1 score.
Is Gary not even back in the boys? Mate, I'm taking UEA. So how Oxford beat Hearts?
They scored more points than
Quidditch program. I'm pretty sure Cambridge have a Quidditch team.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me.
We'll say Lewis Munt wasn't fit for those games. I mean, to be fair, if Lewis Munt is playing for Bath, then
Lewis Munt, Bath, or Aaron. What's his face?
I'll take O'Coin Mustangs over Munt Bath.
Agreed.
Who wins without either one?
Oh, Mustangs.
Mustangs, yeah. Yeah, I mean, anyone got anything else to say about Brunel? I'd imagine not.
Bottlers.
Brunel Bottlers. I mean, KCL versus Bristol. This is good. This is going to be a hot one. KCL.
All the way.
He's saying it because they've all been mean to him in the comments. He's trying to get back on the good side.
Yeah, he's been bullied into picking Barracuda.
I'm not picking Cuda. I've got more sense than that.
Hold on a second. Tebs is one big glazer. Adam, you play for Cardiff. I've been positive about Cardiff all season, you mug. Take the glaze. Take the glaze, Adam. Take it. I'm giving you the glaze.
You ever met Adam?
Stop complaining that I have to equally distribute the glaze. That's the job. And I've glazed your team more than any other team.
Bristol are so clear of KCL. Look, I love the Cuda love, but it's just not going to happen.
No, I don't think they are. I really don't think they are. I mean,
how long is that journey? Like 3.5 hours?
Too long. It's too long of a drive for what ultimately won't matter.
Tebs, we don't want your glaze. If it's Bristol Barracuda, you're not getting any. You're not getting any. You're glazeless. You're glazeless. I mean, it's good to see. That Bristol think they're. The Bristol are confident, so good on them. But I mean, I can't see it.
you know how funny it's going to be? Bristol
Oh,
win.
mate, we won't hear the end of it. And speak, we won't hear the end of it.
We're cancelling. We're cancelling next
Yeah,
week.
I think we'd have to. Shorter travel.
Can't leave my house anymore. I can't leave my house anymore.
Can't leave your loft.
No loft.
The Alps.
I was going to
in the
say
attic.
something, but I think this.
Bristol Barracuda.
Being pursued by
If-
SJ.
If Cuda win KCL, you got to let Jed on. Nah, we're not going to do
No.
that. Tebs, Bristol will win. I don't think they will. Tebs equal Justin Tucker. Wow, that's a funny one. That is a good one. That is mad. Justin Tucker's, didn't expect that from him. But
Can't wait for the Bengals to make him the highest paid kicker of all time.
Why the Bengals?
No, Browns,
gonna
not
say that,
Bengals.
wow.
My bad. Wrong team.
so Kent versus Hertfordshire. I imagine, I think Kent probably have
This
that.
is a good one.
It's going to be. It's probably one of the. I'd say probably the best South game. No, it is. It's the best South game, and then probably Brunel UEA. Yeah, I mean, be interesting to see because obviously Kent not having the season that we thought they'd have, and obviously me and SJ both picking them to win the div, but KCL sort of coming out of nowhere with it. So I mean, good old Kent, but I know that like Hearts probably aren't as powerful as they once were, like last year. But I think it'll be a good game, and I don't think it's cut and dry that Kent are going to come away with it.
Reading that comment, be prepared to see that SW1 are better than the other divisions. I'm not prepared because
No.
we won't see it. You can't be dominated this hard by one team and then turn around and go, oh yeah, I reckon we can beat the teams.
Well, here's the thing: they've got, but here's the thing, right? They've got the opportunity to. Obviously, we're talking about Bristol here because Bournemouth and Bath. If Bristol win it, then that sort of flips everything on its head about the Southwest one. Bournemouth are then probably. You've got to look at Bournemouth and go, oh fuck, Bournemouth are actually really good. So.
I still think Bournemouth are really good. I just think.
But I'm saying if
I'm talking about the rest of the division.
I'm talking about if Bristol, like let's say Bristol completely demolish the regions, then you've got to look at the regular season for Bournemouth and go, oh Jesus Christ, this is like Bournemouth are a mega team, right? That's all I'm saying. I mean, I can't see it happening, but that's sort of what you've got to go with. So, moving on to the Prem, SGS versus Newcastle.
On Newcastle, even going to go
about a 5-hour drive in a car from in that trip. I mean, it's SGS all the way through, I think. Yeah. And there's not much to really talk about in terms of that one, I think. Is that fair? For God's sake.
No. Sorry, no. I'm just thinking about the thought of having to sort of potentially meeting Jed in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah. No.
Don't worry, mate. We're not going to get that far. You'll be fine.
For me as well, I think sort of the same vibe as SGS and Newcastle. I think the same for Portsmouth and NTU. NTU have been on a bit of a down slope. Obviously, they're staying in the Prem, so they're up. But I think meeting Portsmouth, I don't think it's going to go well for the Renegades.
I'm just not going to talk anymore.
Yeah.
Why?
Just get.
They've asked him what he actually does. Just
sits there, comes up with something every now and then, and it goes quiet again. It's do you know what it is? 'Cause I'm reading the comments.
Well, stop reading the comments and then communicate.
But it's funny. They're funny. They're funny guys.
No,
funny guys. Oh yeah, I mean, I think NTU will score some points, but I don't think it's going to be.
No, something's happened to them after Christmas. They've crumbled, and it's.
Yeah.
4 Stags beat the 8-0 Destroyers today.
Oh, yeah, no, but that could happen. That happens in every playoff across every sport.
Oh.
There's always going to be an upset one day.
The thing is, Mike, what you consider is we're looking at the Bournemouth scores here, and they've just been destroying everyone. Like that's what.
Yeah, it's not. We're not sacking off teams for no reason. Bournemouth
I don't think it's a jump of logic for what we're saying, if I'm completely honest. But obviously, Bristol beat KCL, but I think we're going to change our tune.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Kuda's 8-0 coin toss streak? That is a good streak. To be
Have
fair,
they actually won the coin toss every time? Because
I think
that's
they have, yeah.
unbelievable. That's an unreal fact.
That's a great stat line.
Should go stick it
Yeah.
all on pack next.
So for me, that's quite funny.
Jed's back at it.
Like the two big games in the Prem, Leeds and Exeter. For me personally, I think this is
That's a
this is
long
the
way.
game where travel's going to kill. I think.
How long
it's
is that?
5 hours car. I checked earlier. Yeah.
Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, 5 hours. So
6
what,
hours.
6 hours?
You know, like out of all of the sort
Yeah.
of playoff games, I think that one's going to be the killer because I don't think Newcastle versus SGS it would be close anyway, whether it was played in Newcastle or SGS or in a neutral ground.
What
I
time's
don't know.
kickoff?
Go and check that for me.
Have a look.
10 a.m.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a tough game for me personally. I think the travel is enough. I think it'll be close, but I think the travel is enough that I think the Griffins probably take that one. But we'll get into.
Oh, they've not
We'll
put time in yet.
get into picks
That's
slightly
boring.
later. I mean, to be fair, Mike. I mean, you're back in Barracuda, so. I mean, I'm going to choose to back KCL. Yeah, I think for me the closest Prem game, and also the closest, obviously in terms of location, and the closest in terms of I've got no idea who's going to win, and that's Warwick versus Cardiff. You know, I think Cardiff are a pretty decent side. I think they've got the skills to do well, but Warwick obviously they're the number 1 seed. They're a team that can.
I was going to say, but then you sure you expect that one to be the least closest? So whereas that basically reaffirming that point of the South is stronger than the North now because everyone's been pulled
Yeah.
up
I mean,
into that national.
if you think I'm overly, glazing Cardiff here, then you're more than willing to tell me.
Cardiff
Yeah, I think you
glazed.
might be glazing Cardiff a little bit too hard here.
Do you really think so? Well, how do you think that game's going to go then?
Yeah.
Give me the scoreline. You think?
Yeah, you know what? Now when you ask me to put a score on it, I'd probably say like a 1-score game.
I was going to say, I'd say it's close, but at the same time, I think like Leeds versus Exeter's probably going to be fairly
but the
close.
thing is, I agree with that, but it's a 6-hour bus journey for the Demons. Whereas Warwick to Cardiff, that's like Warwick obviously won their division, but they've got the shortest travel time between opponents.
Yeah, but it's Exeter, so they might like fly there on a private jet.
What? Who's Birmingham got?
Nobody.
No, but genuinely, like, how much do you think Warwick are going to win by then?
2 scores at most, probably. It'll either be a 1-score game or a blowout.
Oh, I don't
know
know
why.
that. I don't like.
That's such a.
I don't know about that. I think if Cardiff win it, I won't be surprised.
No, I won't be surprised, but I still think Warwick.
I think it'll be a good game.
It might be in Brum.
The game might be in Birmingham.
Oh, that would be
Birmingham
unreal.
Get to host a playoff game.
That would
Birmingham
be unreal. Yeah, they need to host a game. Like, please,
please
let us host
2025. Explosion 2025.
Oh, I mean, considering that, like, I'm hopefully streaming that game. That is news to me. That is news to me.
Imagine you turn up in Warwick.
Someone they're playing Ultimate Frisbee, and I'm like, yes, get in. Come on,
come on. It's Strathclyde there, and you're like, oh god, yeah, we've got the big ones.
We got the big dogs here. So we're going to do the picks. There's not too many games, so let's get into it. Edinburgh Napier Knights versus the Mavericks. Napier. The Mustangs versus the Longhorns.
Mustangs.
Nottingham Green versus Sheffield Hallam.
Green.
I'm going to go with Hallam. I think.
What do you know that we don't?
They beat them 2 weeks ago. That's what I'm basing it off of. Yeah.
That's good logic.
UClan versus Sterling. UClan.
UClan.
Bournemouth versus Bath. Bournemouth. Brunel versus the UEA Pirates. Brunel. KCL Regents versus Bristol. KCL.
KCL.
Kent versus Hearts.
Oh.
I'm going to go with Kent.
Ken.
Do you know? I'm going Hearts.
Grow up. Grow up. Grow
Fuck
up.
off.
You are picking Hearts.
I'm willingly picking
Has the world
Hearts.
ended? Is there meteors coming for the Earth?
No.
Are pigs flying?
No,
I might actually have to switch the pick now.
Jeez Louise. This is a nightmare.
What? I'm just
No.
being honest.
I'm being honest.
I think the South is the strongest division.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, all he had to do,
So
was
there's my
justify
logic.
himself there.
There you go.
Yeah, fair.
I always have to justify myself to you too.
Yeah, yeah, because if you didn't justify it, then we'd just be talking. Temps
That's
was
a good
going
point,
UEA 10 minutes ago. No, that's just playing devil's advocate, Gary. Bruno do bottle it though.
Can you just stop with that, please?
Please, you're hurting my team's feelings.
Wait, just because we've bottled in the playoff every other year doesn't mean we can do this again.
He has got you there, mate. He has got you there. This is all year. Into the Prem. SGS versus Newcastle. Oh, hold on a second.
SGS.
Barracuda have got a new signing. They've signed Quandale Dingle.
Fuck off. It's embarrassing that you even paused to read that one out. The joke wasn't funny in the
SGS
first
versus
place.
Newcastle.
SGS.
SGS.
Portsmouth versus NTU. Portsmouth.
Portsmouth.
Warwick versus Cardiff. I'm not going to pick it.
Warwick.
And then Leeds versus Exeter. I'm going to go with Leeds. I'm going to go with Leeds. I think that travels too much.
Leeds. I'll go with Leeds.
Yeah, I want to say Exeter.
You want to say
it's
what?
Leeds. Exeter,
God, I
but
hate
it's
you so
Leeds.
So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is the first week of the playoffs. We know who's going up. We know who's coming down. We don't know about the middle, though. That's what we're trying to work out. What? I'm just trying to vamp so we can get to... I don't think I can vamp for a full minute. We imagine that the D2 playoff or National Prem, but National Prem's pretty easy to predict. They'll come out on Wednesday. I think that makes sense. The cutoff date is the 19th, so it would come out on the 20th or the 19th. Yeah, I mean, regular season's over. How are we all feeling? It's over. We've not got long left. Yeah.
Thank God for that.
Not long left.
Uni's almost done.
Yeah. Uni's almost done. Yeah. Same. Me and SJ feel the same way. Mental.
1 month left.
So, yeah, if you play this week, stay safe. Watch the streams. Obviously, it's Portsmouth versus NTU. Don't know about haven't confirmed the second one, but once again, ladies and gentlemen, let's all bow our heads and say, well done to a team that really deserves it. Big up the Chichester Spitfires, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you next week.